Our first discussion of the day is going to be for Kendrick Lamar's album GNX. There, Kendrick Lamar just dropped a brand new album there, and I've listened to it multiple times. How many times have you listened to it there, Joe?
Uh, I'd say about maybe 7 to 8 times all the way through.
Yeah. He dropped this on the 22nd of November. It was kind of surprise. Nobody was anticipating this. People were kind of speculating whether he was going to drop an album right around the time, like when he was going to do his Super Bowl performance, which is coming up in February. Like, was he going to drop it around then? I think there's even still some speculation about that. Just as far as like, because people are saying, is this the album? Is this the album that he's going to be using, or is this just kind of like a here you go, here's something to hold you over until I come out with the actual real thing. What you think about that?
Shit, I think I think this. I did think at first like maybe there might be a part two, but then that part two might be a deluxe on some deluxe album shit, I guess. But I mean, it's enough time. Like you're doing this in between 2 months before the Super Bowl, so it's enough time because people gonna talk about this shit for at least a month. People are still talking about this shit. So people are gonna talk about this shit for at least a month. Then you got the whole month to be dry or whatever. And with that dry January, you can maybe release a exclusive. But I feel like too, that's kind of dangerous because if you release more songs before the Super Bowl, that kind of will put anticipation on if you're gonna hear one of those songs in Super Bowl, especially if they pop off. Like Not Like Us. Like I don't think he expected Not Like Us to pop off the way it did. I think he was trying to make a hit record, but I think now that it's popped off like how Drake Back to Back was and shit like that, I think he's just kind of like capitalizing on that. And yeah, he's gonna have to perform that at the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you want to take that risk because like look at what he's doing now. TV off, automatic like it's an automatic hit and automatic video, all that shit. That was actually one of the first songs I pulled off and put in my Serato.
And you see, Kendrick Lamar's GNX debuts at number one on Billboard 200 with 319,000 units there. So debuted at number one. Yeah, and it beat out Wicked because Wicked was also kind of competing there. Who was going to get the number one spot? Because a lot of people love that soundtrack from the Wicked film there.
A lot of people
Um,
love Wicked. Don't sleep on Wicked, man. I used to watch. I used to see the Wicked commercials
could you
back in the
bring the
day.
mic up just a little bit to you? Just
Oh
get,
yeah, I would say don't sleep on Wicked, man. People do love Wicked. I was in the theater going to see. I went to go see Gladiator 2, and it was a lot of kids there for Wicked. It was a lot of kids there for Wicked. I remember back in the day, man, Wicked the play, the commercial for the play would always come on TV, man, and I knew it was very popular. So yeah, yeah, shit like Wicked can come out of nowhere and smash some shit. So do not play with Wicked like that.
But yeah, so this is the latest album from the Compton rapper there, 12 tracks there. It's a pretty condensed album. It's only 44 minutes long, so pretty quick listen to there for it. So what are your thoughts on GNX there, Joe?
Man, let me well, I respect the whole aspect of the album. Like, it's definitely a West Coast album, man. But see, I don't even want to say it like that because a lot of Kendrick shit is West Coast as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And how I heard him, or when I first heard him, and everything like that with the Kendrick Lamar EP and all the other shit, and um, his other projects that came out. Like it's always been West Coast. This one is just like more so conforming to like the the new form of West Coast. He like a West Coast Drake, to be honest with you, man. He in this album, I feel like he falls into a lot of flows. The features tell it all. I think the features tell you that hey, he's familiar with this type of music on his side. He's familiar with what's popping on his side, and he likes to recreate that. And he I think this little album was just him playing around and making a recreation of a lot of things. Him playing around with a lot of shit too. So especially with Reincarnated. I would say, did I like the album? It was cool, but I think this album is kind of gonna go under the radar, like his Untitled shit was. Because the Untitled, even though Untitled had a couple of cool little records and shit like that, um, he put it as a lot of unfinished work and shit like that. But I think this is gonna go right under that. I done heard some niggas say that this shit is better than Damn, and I'm like, this is not better than Damn. Like, I don't understand. I mean, maybe if you're from the West Coast, maybe you'll feel that way. But even if you're from the West Coast, like I still don't say that. And then they try to see like, oh, it's a lot of things to dig deep up in this album. There's a lot of things to dig deep up in anything if you follow the lore. You know what I'm saying? I think a nigga still is gonna say things that's prevalent to his, but I feel like this is way more. It's just a more of a loose album. You know what I'm saying? It's a more of a loose album. It's more of an album that was made to kind of like be in shock and to drop in shock and to make people think like, okay, I came off this run. I got this coming up with the Super Bowl. It's only right to just drop an album. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the beats are good. Like a lot of beats are good on here. A lot of beats are very good, but I don't think it's nothing on here that like niggas know when Kendrick like spaz out. Or niggas know when like Kendrick like gets real personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, my cousins, my cousins, my aunts now, shit like that. Like when he gets real deep or just more introspective, none of that is there. And so that kind of lets like people like me down. And I'm more so of the Kendrick where um I would want to hear some of that. And to be honest with you, if any nigga sitting out here saying, well, I like this way of Kendrick being loose. Yeah, because it's the first time you're getting this. You're getting hard hitting beats. Like, everything is hard. A lot of the beats are hard hitting beats. Like, if you look at, Squabble Up, hard hitting beat, like, it make you wanna throw your set up. There's a couple of set tripping songs on here, you know what I'm saying, that make you wanna throw sets up. Like that, like, Whacked Out Murals. I
Mm.
can see like, Game does music like Whacked Out Murals, you know what I'm saying? Reincarnated, like, um, shit, Gloria, like, fucking let me check this. I'm missing something? Fucking, Course TV Off, like, Dodger Blue, Peekaboo, like, Peekaboo most definitely, that's a gang banging ass song. Oh, shit, I have to turn it off. But yeah, shout out to her. He discovered the old girl at a Dodgers game.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. I'll call her Santa Maria at the moment. But, but yeah, man, like, yeah, it was just really LA based, and that's cool, but it was super LA based in your face, but all of his projects been LA based, like, so I don't think that's a good way to even describe the album. It's to this album, it's like, do you like it or do you not? Because it's more of a faster paced Kendrick because it's short, you know what I'm saying? And it's more of a non-complicated Kendrick because of the lyrics, and there's no direction. And I think with the no direction, that makes people wanna call this a mixtape too. Um, and it has a mixtape type feel to it, you know what I'm saying? I think if he woulda threw a DJ on here, I think well, he did that with Damn already. And Damn, you can kinda say ain't a mixtape, it's more of a concise album. And this is the opposite of Damn, really, to be honest with you. It's the totally opposite of Damn. This is the things that he did on Damn, certain things that he did on Damn, is with the DJ and shit, we had Kid Capri, he coulda did that on instead of doing it on Damn, coulda just did it on here. Because this sounds way more of a mixtape than Damn was supposed to be. But I think in Damn, he just wanted to put those elements in there, along with, like, more of the introspective type of Kendrick. So, man, I'm in between, man. I'm in between the albums, to be honest with you. I don't wanna give a rating yet, but, Imma let you go, but I'm in between on the album, to be honest with you. And I think I'm in between to the point where this is not gonna be like when we did Drake, where, like, I kinda, like, was shitting on it, and like, just totally came around to it and thought it was, like, one of my favorite albums of the year, which it still is. I still think For All the Dogs is a classic. um, in my eyes. But it's like with this, I'm in the middle, and I don't think I'm gonna sway no more past like, oh man, this is a classic. This is cold. Nah, this is just a West Coast Kendrick eccentric album. With a lot of niggas from different sides up in there. And this is his Donda, to be honest with you. This is his Donda, man.
Mm,
That's all it is. This is Donda. And shouts to him. You know what I'm saying? People was like, oh, look at the features on there. The features really ain't even have to do too much. And I heard that the features was recorded like 2 weeks before the album even came out. So everything was already done. They just had to punch in.
mm. And some of the features, some of the people that are on here, you have SZA who's on here, you got Roddy Rich, you got Gunplay that's on here. You mentioned the singer that he discovered at the Dodgers game there. That was Daya Barrera there. She's on the opening and closing tracks of this album, and then as well as Reincarnated. So she comes in there. This is her right here with a picture with Kendrick Lamar there. And she's actually also from California as well, keeping the California influence there as Kendrick likes to do in his albums there. Very much of an LA West Coast type sound. And you made a comparison. A lot of people are comparing this album to Damn. I think in I guess more of the commercial appeal of it. I guess that's why people are comparing it to Damn. Just in terms of that, like because Damn was kind of Kendrick's attempt at doing more of a commercially kind of appealing album. I guess you would say more than his
With
other
a
project.
mixtape feel in it. Because he put a DJ in it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the records on there had scratching on Damn. Like none of these records on this album has any scratching on there. So that's why I say it's like the opposite of Damn. Like Damn was a commercial mixtape. If I guess we can call it that. And this was a could be a mixtape, but maybe he wanted to be more commercial with this. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he's doing that shit on purpose. I don't know. But you hear no scratching, no other DJ elements in Damn. I mean in this album.
Yeah. And then you mentioned also maybe he wants to put out some more music before the Super Bowl because he doesn't have a lot of like what's some songs that if he's gonna do a whole because how long is usually a Super Bowl halftime show? It's like an hour, hour and a half, pretty much,
Yeah.
right?
Then
So
performances like 20 minutes.
yeah, 20 minutes there. So if you really want to do maybe a whole performance there at the Super Bowl, you need a lot of songs that are really going to pop off there. And like you can think, okay, because people are like, okay, what's his set list going to be like if he does like a whole, if he kind of does do that, what's it going to be like? Um,
I mean, I feel like one of the songs he can start off with is like All the Stars, you know. I think he's gonna do his set with features on it. So I feel like it's gonna be a lot of TDE niggas gonna be there. I feel like SZA's gonna grace the stage because he has a lot of strong commercial songs with SZA. Um, shit, he might even do. Um, I don't think he'll do Poetic Justice. I mean, just cause, and even at that, I don't think that's a Super Bowl type song. I feel like he might do Backstreet Seat Freestyle. Um, shit. I mean, if we can go back, I wish he can do like any of like the earlier hearts. You know what I'm saying? I wish, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Uh, Be humble. He's definitely gonna do be humble. He might even do that song with Dre. Um,
Swimming pools.
he'll do swimming pools, of course. Because swimming pool has like a up and a down to it, and swimming pool has like a dynamic to it that can be good for a live show. Um, what about? I'm trying to think of shit off Mr. Morale that he can probably do, and you can probably help me with that one because Mr. Morale don't really got too many hits or whatever. So yeah, I mean, you only need a certain amount of songs to really shape up your Super Bowl. You feel me? So if you're gonna be on there for 20 minutes, nigga, that's like 6 or 7 songs. I feel like Kendrick can pull that out, especially if he gets help from features and shit like that, because it's not gonna be too performative. It's not gonna be like skating around and shit like that. That's how Usher was able to do his thing and just bring out Little John. So I think it's gonna be more so stage based, just like how Drake shit was. And I think it's gonna be just like how Drake shit was, where it's gonna be features. He might bring out some feature records or some shit that he did. He might fuck around and bring out Rain.
Yeah, for Mona Lisa, they got the song together, Mona Lisa there.
Yep.
In which that was kind of one of the songs that initially popped off Whacked Out Murals there, where he does mention Wayne. So in that song, he touches on the whole kind of thing with Wayne and then the controversy of when, and I think weren't you on here when we discussed that? Or no, it was Hunter
No,
actually.
not with Whacked Out Murals. But even when I heard Whacked Out Murals, I didn't think it was a diss to Wayne, because he said he let Wayne down. I don't think it was a diss to Wayne. I think it was more so a slight to J. Cole, you know what I'm saying?
Uh,
But yeah, but Kendrick's been telling y'all for years, like, you know, I'm in between Common and Gucci Man. Like that's his type of personality. And he likes to get ignorant at times. I don't understand why people don't know that. On Backstreet Freestyle, he had Shorty shaking rump. You know what I'm saying? Next to that motherfucking I think it was a GNX in that one. So, you know, he definitely made something. Shout out my nigga D Smith. We used to always say this. He definitely this album was rider music. That's why I think why he called it GNX. It ain't no special meaning behind it. They just called it GNX Grand National, which is a car or whatever. And yeah, he just made it for the whip. He made it for the whip. He made it for the barbecues. He made it for that LA weather. You know what I'm saying?
uh, Yeah. So on Mac That Music, you mentioned the line he references Lil Wayne. So it was that was during about the whole kind of thing when Kendrick Lamar got the announcement that he was going to be doing the Super Bowl there. That announcement was made. Then a lot of people, for some reason, started saying like Lil Wayne should have gotten it, or maybe Lil Wayne should get it. Then Lil Wayne even responded to that. He made a video saying like I wasn't really prepared for this moment, and it should have been more my moment there. I should have probably been the person there to headline it. So when that song came out, Lil Wayne did respond and he talked about, man, what the fuck did I do? I just be chilling and they still come for my head. Let's not take kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep. I beg you all. No one really wants destruction, not even me, but I shall destroy if disturbed on me love. Uh,
But see, even that tweet don't even look like Wayne wrote that. And let's not forget, like, motherfuckers is like the older guys, they do miscommunicate some shit. So it's not
so
like it haven't happened before.
you think it was maybe third hand, like he got like Wayne didn't hear the song himself. He just heard people, someone tell him what happened in the
No,
song. He didn't.
no, I think Wayne heard the song, but I think with the ways whoever played the song for him probably was like, "What the hell that mean?" Or Wayne just probably just heard the song. Wayne probably just heard the song. It was just like he heard his name and he probably, told me let Lil Wayne down. What the fuck that mean? He probably just miscommunicated a different way. But nobody want to see Wayne and Kendrick go back and forth. Nobody wants to see that, even though it helps. But it'll only help if Wayne does it with Drake. Let's keep it a buck.
uh, but I never understood that. Why even Wayne was that much considered for. I mean, I guess because yeah, he's from New Orleans. He was born in New Orleans,
Hmm.
but and he is a legend. But Kendrick Lamar, I mean, it makes sense that he's performing at the halftime show, given the year that he's had,
Yeah,
and all the kind of the momentum that he has. It kind of makes sense that he's doing it.
yeah, but the NFL has done it before. Like we had Nelly. I mean, let's squash all the before the Jay-Z shit. We had Nelly. Nelly performed for St. Louis when the Rams was in the Super Bowl and shit like that. Well, I have to check see what city that's in. I remember the Rams was in the Super Bowl and Nelly
They were in L.A. when they were in the Super Bowl.
when they did the when they did the
Dr.
Super Bowl.
Dre and yeah.
No, no, no. I'm talking about Nelly. This was way before that.
Oh, way before that. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
When
they
they were
was
the St. Louis Rams. Okay.
I think they were in St. Louis or maybe because the St. Louis Rams, but they had Nelly perform that Super Bowl. They had Nelly perform that Super Bowl. And then like you said, yeah, last year they was in LA, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It looks weird because last year they was in LA and they should have just had LA him at the LA, but I guess Jay-Z's over it and shit like that. So Jay-Z gets to picks who comes on and shit like that. And we all know Jay-Z is really close to Dr. Dre. I don't know how close he is to Kendrick, but it could be a slight to Lil Wayne. But even if it was, I mean, people's like, "Oh, Lil Wayne can't really perform like that." I think he woulda did a nice little cool Super Bowl. It wouldn't have been no fire Super Bowl, but it would have been all the shit, like Fireman. I don't know if he'll be able to do blunt blowing.
So the one that Nelly was in, so he was in the one in 2004.
Mhm.
And so it was a whole kind of a lot of people there, kind of an ensemble of people. You
Yep.
had Janet Jackson was there, Justin Timberlake was there,
Mhm.
the Diddler, he was there. You had Nelly, you had Kid Rock, you had Jessica Simpson there. So you had all those. This was 2004 that they were doing this Super Bowl, and this was in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. And
And
was
then
the
Nelly,
Rams in the Super Bowl?
this Super Bowl was the one. It was the Patriots and Panthers.
Oh, Patriots fan. Okay, my fault. I was wrong about that one. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought the Rams did the Super Bowl. 'Cause I remember wearing like a Rams jersey or some shit.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I think Kendrick should have been at the last one, which was in LA, but I mean it's a Super Bowl. He did come off a great year. I think he just came off a great execution. I think this beef really fueled it a lot. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh, the mic, you away from the mic there.
it's crazy that like a beef can grant you so many opportunities. I guess depending on who you beefing with. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I can believe that they have asked Drake before to do the shit and he probably has turned it down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
but I don't know. I can't I don't know. I don't even man, I'm like at the age I don't even try to like calculate that shit or how that shit is supposed to be now. Like how's it supposed to go? Like who's supposed to do this? Who's supposed to do that? I mean, yeah, if you look at like all the stats, hell, you could put Tyler, the creator, in the Super Bowl. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Like, what does it really take? I mean, yeah, Kendrick had a fantastic year. He couldn't be stopped. But if Kendrick didn't come out, who else y'all gonna do? Tyler, the
I
creator? That probably been the next person next
mean,
up.
still, I mean, you coulda had Taylor Swift maybe, you coulda had her, you coulda had
Yeah,
some other.
Taylor Swift. But I think Taylor Swift only gonna want to do that shit unless her man is in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the Super Bowl last year and she didn't. I thought she was my guess for who they were gonna do the Super Bowl halftime show last year,
Yeah.
and then that was my
Yep.
guess.
And they yep, and they could have did it, but they she probably didn't want to split the stage with Usher. Shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so you had that kinda going on. That was one of the things there that people pointed out in that song, "Whacked Out Murals." And then also there was a reference he talked about where he says, "Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman, that's law." And then people were kinda speculating who is he talking about there. Some people were saying that maybe he was talking about Andrew Schultz there. Andrew Schultz, who is a comedian, white comedian there. People might know him. He usually does a podcast there with, Charlemagne the God, Brilliant
Mhm.
Idiots there. He
Start
also
off the guy code.
Guy Code there, he's also in that. He's also got his own podcast there called Flagrant Foul there, which he just interviewed President Trump. He just interviewed that guy. He just interviewed
Which I
him.
actually watched that whole thing.
Okay, was it mostly just a glaze session?
Oh, it was 2 white guys.
Yeah. Well, Akash, he was there. Usually,
He didn't say shit.
yeah.
He barely said shit, and then the other guys didn't even say a damn word. So, and, Schultz is a Manhattan boy. Schultz come from money. His family is already has, like, a theater back his mother has I know his mother for sure has a theater background. I used to watch a lot of Brilliant Idiots back in the day or whatever, and his mother has a theater background and shit like that, so
Yeah.
but
And
it is amazing how Schultz came up, to be honest with you, because I didn't understand how big Schultz was getting until he first started when he first started his first few stand-ups that he did, he started putting them on YouTube, and the YouTube numbers reflected, and that's how he kinda, like, rose to fame.
Mm, yeah. He really was kind of one of those comedians who really utilized the internet and
Mhm.
that kind of thing there more than a lot of comedians did. So he hopped on that trend a lot earlier there. Now you see it with like people like Matt Rife with the TikTok stuff. So like people like Andrew Schultz kind of did lay a little bit of the groundwork for other comedians to
Yeah.
really start doing that.
Yeah, I
Um,
give him that.
yeah. So, but yeah, so people say speculate it's kind of him, and then you have he kind of responded to it possibly. So DJ Act there says he spoke with Schultz on the phone and claims that the comedian responded to Lamar's verbal jab and says this guy too woke to understand a joke. So Schultz allegedly told academics during their conversation. there. So he said that, which don't know exactly what that means there. So that's some reference to, again, there's some other stuff there that happened on the internet recently, where Schultz was had on a podcast, the Flagrant. He had the guys, Shits and Giggles, I think is
Mhm,
their names there, big YouTubers, big content creators. I actually hadn't heard of them until they were on the show Flagrant there.
mhm.
So I didn't know who they were, but they're very big, they're very popular. Shout out to them, I guess, or not shout out to them, I guess, given the controversy. But yeah, so they were on there, and then he was talking about the black girlfriend effect, and like guys, have a different look when they're with a black girlfriend, and it went to like black women, you got to get a beard because black women are gonna slap you to cover up the bruises and all that type of stuff there, and a lot of stuff that black women are angry and violent and that kind of things there. So, well, I mean, whatever. And then that was a big thing that went around the internet and controversy there. And so people saying it's maybe in reference to that as well. Gary Owens as well responded because he maybe thought it was about him. Gary Owens is another white comedian. He does a lot of jokes about, he used to be in an interracial marriage there. Now he's divorced from his wife. He's been divorced from his wife, I think, for some time now, I think.
Mhm.
And Gary Owen, people might have seen him. He was in, what was it, Best Man? I think he was in right there, right? Oh no,
Oh, no, no, he wasn't best man,
Think Like a Man.
Think Like a Man, I think the last, the spoof of, what's that shit called? It was a spoof of, what's that shit, Purge and shit like that, he was in that,
Yeah.
so yeah,
So,
the shit with Mike Epps. That's
oh,
that's the
okay.
last we I remember him in.
Yeah. And then so he was in that. So people might have seen him in that.
Yeah,
And then
he's
yeah.
the country white boy that you can tell that he got some brown sugar on his dick, shit like that, so, I mean, some of them brothers you can just tell, man, and shouts to them brothers too, man. I remember one time I seen an image of a white brother like that, and he had about 4, 5 kids hanging off his arm, so I think Gary Oldman got a couple kids his damn self, so, shouts to him, man, because when he went through his divorce, it was hard, but some of these white boys, man, they be dipping in this, into that black woman's soul, man, and motherfuckers be coming out with about 2, 3 kids, man. You know what
Uh,
I'm saying? They never have just one, they be going through it, so,
so
you know.
Gary Owens, so he responded to this by saying that, to Kendrick Lamar's line there. He said, "If that's a law, that makes me a criminal." He said that on IG there. I like the first comment is it says from a white guy to a white guy. Let's just sit this one out, sport. That's the first comment there. But yeah, so
Right,
he was,
because the next motherfucker you gonna see say something is Michael Rappaport. Let's go down the line. So,
yeah, Michael Rappaport. That's another one. Yeah.
yeah, Michael Rappaport, but Michael Rappaport can't say shit, man. Michael Rappaport is low key a legend. And hell, man, if you ever go back to just watch certain Spike Lee movies that Michael Rappaport was in, or the shit that he had to just say in Bamboozle, like I know he had to like sit down and cry at night at some shit he had to do. His saying Bamboozle, man. He was having niggas tap dance. He was calling motherfuckers coon. Oh man, have you ever seen Bamboozle?
Uh, no, I've never seen it. I've seen people do reviews of it. I know what it is, but
You
I never
you
actually.
definitely should watch Bamboozle for yourself, man.
Yeah.
It's a while. You'll probably see him in a different light. But yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of white men that have disrespected black women this year. So, they're not just the only ones. We also have Trump that disrespected the black women this year too.
Yeah,
So
the list can probably get pretty long there.
yeah, the list
Uh,
list can get pretty hefty.
so you got that kind of going on. Then it goes to Squabbled Up, which we mentioned before, and there's even a music video
Mhm.
with that one. That was the only one that released. So the two singles for the project.
Which I
Um,
like. I like the music video. Yes, of course, it's obvious that yes, it goes back to the music video with fucking the Roots. Duh. Okay. Like motherfuckers try to break down every little thing. There's a lot of videos people can break down that are the same as other shit. We get it. Like, but yeah, man, I definitely love this video. I fuck with like the fit he got on. Shit, I fucked with the fit he had on at the concert. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, got my nigga Smacky up in there too. Y'all know who Smacky is from back on Fig. You know what I'm saying? Hoover Crip. You know what I'm saying? Keyway.
mm,
Uh, he got like a lot of sets up here, man. It's like even if you if you're really deep in the No Jump and you watch, like, shit like Back on Fig, Community World, and shit like that, you are familiar with a lot of this shit and a lot of this music. And even he had the Cuzzos in here. I wanna shout them out. The Cuzzos, you probably gonna see that's Schmacky going to white right there. That's Schmacky over there from Back
Okay.
on Fig. He doing the Hoover Wiggle, I wanna say. I don't wanna mess it up, but
Let me
oh, the Hoover
rewind.
Stomp. Hoover Stomp. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I'm into all that shit, like, the the little not the gang culture, but yeah, I guess to the gang culture, cause yeah, if you see them, like, they're doing, like, the Hoover Stomp, and right there too, they're doing the Hoover Stomp, you know what I'm saying? So they all doing, like, the little Hoover Stomp, where it's not the typical what's the typical, it's not the typical, sea walk, you know what I'm saying? It's just for the Hoovers, and it was cool to see that because the Hoovers really don't get that much respect. And let's go back to some movie shit. If you notice, John Singleton movies always had a Hoover up in there.
Got an Ice T reference there.
Yeah, Ice-T reference, like, John Singleton always had a Hoovers in his shit, you know what I'm saying? And the Hoovers is one of the gangs that's in LA that's kinda legendary because they were the only gang that didn't squab up with nobody when there was a big war going on. It was just like them against everybody, you know what I'm saying? So they go down in history for that in LA, you know what I'm saying? But if you keep going through the video, you'll see the Cuzzos. I'll let you know when the Cuzzos come on. There's a Soul
Soul
Train, there you
Train.
go right there. The
What you say?
Cuzzos, yeah, they're new. They're super new girl group, man, but sounds
Oh,
super LA, you know what I'm saying? We definitely want, like, a girl version of LA and shit like that. The Cuzzos, man, and I'm happy that he's giving those type of, like, we know about AZ Chike and, Young Thread and all that stuff like that, but it's cool that they getting shine to the Cuzzos. I've been, screaming them out for a couple months ever since I found them through Almighty Suspect and shit. And he got the essays up in there, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause, Lefty Gunplay, he's at the end of one song and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just yeah.
mm.
This is, if you ever been to the swap meet in Chicago, we got swaps. Jay, I don't know if you ever been to a swap meet like that before, a Swaparama or something like that, but y'all niggas know, man, it's Swaparama music, man. It's swap meet music, shit. What Tone Loc say on Poetic Justice? I take her to the Crenshaw swap meet, get her whatever she need. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just that whole culture, and I think this will resonate with niggas like my age because we had nothing but bomb ass LA movies come out back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So if you watching this and Boys to Men, Men's Society and Boys in the Hood and shit like that, this is what this is. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is what this
Mm.
is. So that's why I feel like a lot of older niggas and shit be fucking with this shit heavy and talking about, man, it's better than damn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But I definitely appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate that. And Squabble Up, man, that's one of my joints, man. That's one of my joints. I like Squabble Up. Even though I was kind of like upset that he really only put an extra minute on Squabble Up. Like the song ain't that long. It's like 2:40 or something like that. The song is not that long. There's a couple songs in here that's like super short. So
Mm. Yeah. And so this was the Squabble Up was kind of the untitled kind of 15-second snippet we saw in Not Like Us there that we saw. So we got the actual song there here on this project. Um, and then much like with a lot of Kendrick Lamar videos, like you said, there's a lot of references there, Easter eggs for people to, kind of analyze, dissect, look into. There's a Soul Train reference in there. I mentioned Ice-T album cover reference there you have in that music video. So tons of things people can go back and look over in that about 3 minute, you know, music video there, which I thought was pretty good. And like I said, that's one of the singles of it. That one and Luther are the two singles for the project. And
which Luther, I don't really care for that much.
oh, what you say?
Luther, I just don't really care for Luther that much.
Mm. And why not? Why you think?
I don't know, man. Luther's cool. It just didn't move me that much. I understand it though. He put in "If This World Was Mine." I don't know if people said it, but I mean, there's also another iconic LA movie, called fuck, it's with Mike Epps. Um, what the fuck is it called? The
Who
Wood.
else? Wood. Okay.
The Wood. Yeah. So if the Wood, this was at the point where He finally, danced with the girl of his dreams and shit at the party. And Mike was from North Carolina and shit like that. And he was like a fish out of water type thing because he was new to LA and shit like that. So he know what Cuz of Blood is. Have you ever seen The Wood?
No, I haven't.
So it cycles through real quick. Synopsis, real quick. The movie's interesting because it cycles through his older childhood, Mike's, and his younger childhood. And so his younger childhood, when he was a teenager, he just moved to LA, so he didn't know none of the politics. How shit got down, and then niggas be a little green eyed, and he collects friends up in
You
there.
mean Omar Epps?
Oh my F's, yeah. I don't know why I said Mike Epps. Yeah, oh my F's, and Tay Diggs is in it too. Yeah, I didn't know it was a MTV production.
Okay, I have. Yeah, I think I have seen this thing.
Yeah, a lot of people seen this movie. It's an iconic film, but when I heard that and he did If This World Was Mine, I automatically thought of this movie. You know, so
Mm,
and it's
yeah.
just a real decent movie, man. It's definitely a hood classic. Uh, really, I can't really see nothing wrong with this movie. Like, this is one of the hood classics that like really holds. It holds like up to this day to me. To be honest with you, so if you haven't seen this movie, you should check it out. It's very I love the pacing of the movie, and it's very consistent of the story that it's trying to tell, and it's just a dope look of how it was structured. And like how it's flashing back and forth from him being a kid to up to him being older and shit. That's how the movie kind of is, except for like don't do it all as fast and shit. But
Mm,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
dope. It's a really dope movie. So I think that whole Gloria joint, not Gloria, but I like Gloria, but the Luther joint was dedicated to that. Yeah,
Yeah. And so you can mention it features a sample from "If This World Were Mine" from Marvin Gaye there, which was performed by Luther Vandross there. So you got
yeah,
that.
and in the movie, the Wood, the brother that he fought in the beginning over the girl put him on game and said, "You know what my sister like? You try to get a dance with her when this shit come on." And he puts it on in his car. Now I gotta look at the movie again and see maybe he had a GNX, a Grand National. Maybe that's one of the ties to it too. But that is one of the more iconic scenes where he puts him on, even though he just fought this nigga early in the week and shit over his sister. But they about to go to a dance and some shit that happened. I ain't gonna spoil it, but some shit that happened in between, and he got his respect. You know what I'm saying? And he put him on. So yeah,
Yeah. I always like when SZA and Kendrick Lamar collab. I think they got great chemistry. I think they work really well together there. And she provides a lot of great, kind of balance with Lamar there. So I do like that song there. Luther. Then you got "Man at the Garden." There,
hate it,
which hated it.
hate it, hate it. And I'm gonna tell you like this: I hate it. I, one thing is I don't like renditions, and I never liked one mic by Nas. And I understand that this is supposed to be a recreation of that, but I'm totally good off this record.
Mm, okay.
That's the only reason why. Ain't no deep reason into it or nothing like that. It's just that I never liked Nas One Mic. I never thought it was cold. I feel like there's other songs that was in Nas's album that was way better than this, like Second Childhood. And I just niggas loved One Mic, man. Man, when I was in high school at this time, so niggas loved One Mic. I'm like, my nigga, it's really not that.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I don't think it's the most memorable for me as far as the
Mhm.
album there. I just think it's kind of okay there. Then you have "Hey Now," which is featuring Dodgy Six there. How you feel about that one?
Dodgy Six, that's a 6-0. He's a 6-0, and everything. I like that one. It's LA type. It's only really 2, maybe 3 songs I really don't care for on here, and that's like, Man in the Garden, and I'll let you know the next one. So it's really only 2, but this one was decent, like, Hey Now, Say Now, like, yeah, another one to make you wanna throw your sets up, and it's decent, it's a decent track. It's something about and I don't know if that's Mustard that produced it, but it's something about Mustard's drums.
And "Hey Now."
Yeah.
It says the producer here is Soundwave,
Okay.
Antonov, and yeah, Mustard also produced it.
It's something about I don't know if that's Mustard's drums or not. I don't know if it's sound waves or whoever, but it's something about them drums that just make I don't know, make it decent. Like, I could see this being played, you know what I'm saying, in the Grand National or whatever car you in, you know?
Yeah. Which was good. I like that. I mean, that's also a sneaky good one, I think, with this. I mean, this album, because comparing it to Damn a little bit as far as like, more of an attempt at, I guess, a commercial appeal there.
Mhm.
Um, I'm trying to, going back and forth as far as which one I like better. I think maybe I like this one better as far as the track list there of songs and the flow of the songs, the way how one leads into the next one. I think I maybe prefer GNX over Damn. Then you also have Reincarnated, you got that one there where he's doing Tupac, he's doing, Made Niggas there, the Tupac song, so he's doing that, so he's rapping like him there. How
Yeah.
do you feel about this? You see,
Which is
this is
another
also
a rendition, yeah, which I accept it, it's cool, it's alright, but I don't really care for it like that, but it's better than Man at the Garden, um, simply because I just didn't like that song, one mic, and it's a Pac song, like, I fuck with Pac, but yeah, I take that one, it's cool. It's just cool, like, it's just cool, whatever message behind it, cool, let it be a message, but it was just cool to me. I think he performed it very well. I think on his performance and the song is what kinda makes it go for me. And then I like how the beat switches up in the song too, so switches a little bit, so
yeah, and it
it
was
kinda
kind of a I don't know if it was supposed to be kind of a shot at, Drake there because he used the AI generated Pac there when
mhm.
his one of his songs and his disses, what was that diss he used? It was,
Oh, yeah, the one he was like, "Kendrick, we need ya." I can't remember the name of that song,
yeah.
but yeah, it could have been that too because a lot of this shit is current, like, a lot of lyrics he's saying everything is current, so you can tell he kinda did this album, like, within, like, a few months span, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, so I don't know if it's a reference to that there. And then I bet probably, I mean, Lamar also had, blessing from the family there to probably go there and actually, kind of take Pac's flow and then use the song there to want to do the song. I bet you probably had blessing or something that Drake didn't have with that song there.
yeah.
Uh,
Drake
with the,
tweaked with that. Drake tweaked with that whole move of doing that AI shit. I just thought he really, really tweaked with that. Like what would make you do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Then you after that, you got TV Off, which if you had to say which one's the most popular out of all the songs there, do you think TV Off is the most popular one?
Yeah, TV off is because TV off, like I said, as a first listen to this shit in my DJ mind, that was the first track that I took off and put on Serato. Like that
Yeah.
was the first track that I put on Serato. Not even because of the mustard part. I didn't even like pay attention to that, but it was just like, yeah, it was like, yeah, it's decent. Got a hard like it's a hard beat to it. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like it was kind of like on some we gonna be all right type shit with the beat, with the impact of the beat. Ain't that right, Jasper? Jasper agrees.
This is featuring Gunplay on it. That's where this, meme where people keep screaming "mustard," if you've seen that online, with people doing
Mhm.
that with a bunch of characters there screaming, like, you get all the brands and corporations even joining in on it.
Mhm.
Sony put out Kratos and screaming and put "mustard" as the caption. You had Shrek who was screaming, they put "mustard" as the caption there from DreamWorks, and all these kind of brands coming in there. So yeah, very much also it has a little bit of a strong resemblance to maybe Not Like Us. It sounds kind of similar
Yeah.
there to that, with that as well. I think the first half is stronger than the second half of it
Mhm.
when he does the switch to the mustard thing and gets into that. I don't like it as much as the first half of it.
Mhm.
But I still think it's a good song. I think it's one of the better songs on the project there.
And you said that's Gunplay saying mustard.
No, that's not that's Kendrick saying mustard
Oh, okay.
there. But I just mentioned Gunplay was is a feature on the song there.
He was on
Um
there.
Yeah, Lefty Gunplay is on there.
Oh, Lefty Gunplay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Lefty Gunplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on there. Let me pull up a picture of him there. Uh, let's see. So
He looks
yeah,
like a just typical Mexican. Like, y'all
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
see him, he's on Vlad TV right now talking this shit. He has I don't know if you ever seen him, like, talk or he has, like, weird movements and shit like that. He's like a Mexican Crip Mac. He really is because they have, like, mannerisms about theyself. Like, he moves around, like, he when he talks and shit, he talks with his hands, and he just has, like, an animated nature about him. So,
Mm,
I can see why, why Kendrick, reached out to him. Be honest with you, I'm gonna keep it a bug. I mean, people can disagree or not. Kendrick wouldn't have had no Mexicans on his goddamn album like that unless they was viral. I'm
mm.
sorry. He was viral. He became viral, okay? Who he gonna have on a Yeet? Like, and a Yeet, I don't even think Yeet I don't know what the hell Yeet is. I think Yeet is Mexican, well, whatever the fuck he is, whatever. But it's just like, Yeet didn't represent anything. He didn't represent no type of banging or shit like that. If like I said, he had a solid message that he wanted to put. He wanted to put all bangers on his bit. Literally, not just the songs. He put all bangers. Like you're gonna know who Dodie Six is after this. You're gonna know who AZ Chike is. You're gonna know who Young Thread is. Like he's putting different sides and different bangers on here to let y'all know, like, yeah, we can come together with the music. But also, if you look at a lot of these features on here,
Mm.
a lot of them is not set tripping or going off or talking about the other side or dissing niggas or not even talking about their set. I'm just this is what I've noticed on a banger tip. You know what I'm saying? Even with Schoolboy Q, when you listen to Schoolboy Q, he'll say certain things like, what I'm saying, like 30 something still set tripping, what I'm saying? Like Hoover Crip, that's who I be. Like ain't nobody shouting out their hood in this bitch. They just rapping. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to make a point with all of that.
Yeah. The song after that, Dodger Blue, has the most features on it. We got Wally the Sensei, you got Sadety 7X, I guess is how you say his
Yeah,
name.
Siete.
Siete 7X and Roddy Rich, who's on that one. How do you feel about that one?
Oh, that was good. That was a good album. I like it. I fuck with it. Very tough, very gangster. Like, yeah, I fuck with that one. I fuck with GNX. I fuck with GNX. I think Young Threat is on there too. Uh, is it? No, Young. Is Young Threat on there?
Young Threat is on GNX.
GNX. Okay, this is GNX we're talking about, right?
No, we're talking about Dodger Blue.
Oh, Dodger Blue, Dodger Blue, Dodger Blue. Okay, so Dodger Blue was short, and I kind of wish it was a little bit longer. But I fuck with Dodger Blue. I fuck with Dodger Blue. It was smooth. I was thinking about GNX at the time. But I fuck with Dodger Blue, man. I think Dodger Blue was very smooth, man. Very smooth track. Nothing too complicated about it. Like I said, you had people on there. I think Roddy Rich G, and I started really listening to Roddy Rich other records and shit like that. Maybe because it was Mustard's latest album, right? Mustard dropped the album in between the Not Like Us shit, right? That didn't have Not Like Us on there. He has one of my favorite songs on his album. And I think Roddy Rich brings like a dope ass element to certain songs when he's like a feature. You know what I'm saying? So shouts to Roddy Rich, man. Like I think Roddy Rich is something special. And I think the world jumped the gun on Roddy Rich a little bit.
That song that you mentioned, that was so it's Faith of a Mustard Seed is the album. That's the new studio album that DJ
Mhm.
Mustard came out with. So Truth is the
Yep,
song.
truth is, yep.
Okay.
Going crazy. Yeah. You know with my baby. Yeah, that shit hard. Like, oh, my time flow. Like that shit. And it's only Roddy Rich on that song. But it's like he flows so gracefully on that motherfucker. Like, and just listen to other little Roddy Rich songs. Roddy Rich has like an element to himself. Same as Ty Dolla $ign. Like he's like him and Ty Dolla $ign is like one of those artists that can come in and really like transpose the album and really make it sound like something. You feel me? Like make it sound like something unique. So
Mm, yeah. But this one, I think it's got a nice melody to it. It's got a nice tone to it. The
mhm,
features work really well with it. I do like kind of everybody coming in and out. It's one of the shortest songs on the whole album
mhm.
at 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Yeah, one of
Yep, that's
yeah,
short as Squabble Up. Squabble Up only 240.
yeah. It's 2:37. It's squabbled up.
Oh, to
Uh,
see, damn.
so yeah, this one clocks in as the shortest out of all of them. Peekaboo is after that. Really love Peekaboo a lot. I really love Peekaboo a lot there. That's also creeping
Peekaboo,
up as one of my favorites. That's
which
kind of really good. The
which
feature
sounds
on
similar to Squabble Up a little bit.
similar, yeah, it does sound kind of similar. Yeah,
Mhm,
that sound kind of squabbled. Squabbled up, TV off. Peekaboo kind of have a very similar sound to them
mhm.
there, and those are the songs I kind of like the most there. With it. And you have A's a Checky.
AZ Track, yeah,
AZ Chike there, who's the feature on here. So this is him right here,
yeah,
who
AZ
pops up
Track,
on.
which is another prominent, what I'm saying, like, artist, like, a lot of these artists been out for a while, like, a lot of these motherfuckers ain't, like, new or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? So, a couple of these motherfuckers been out for a while. Lefty Gunplay, he just did some time and he had got out, but he been rapping and doing his thing for a while. AZ Chike been doing his thing for a while. Definitely been hearing about AZ Chike, Siete, um, like I said, Young Threat, all them, like, yeah, yeah.
Hmm, then Heart Part 6. So people were kind of wondering what was Kendrick gonna do because Drake dropped his own Heart Part 6.
Mhm,
People were wondering is Kendrick gonna make Heart Part 7, or
mhm.
is he gonna make Heart Part 6? Is he gonna, kinda try to compete with Drake's Heart Part 6? I mean, kinda wasn't that hard because that one was pretty trash anyway. So he does that here with his own there because he has the whole Heart series that he does. So he
Mhm.
does this with Heart Part 6. How do you feel about this song?
It's the Heart, man. I mean, the Heart always uses a strong soul sample and shit like that. Um, and I like that he was telling a nice little TDE story. Before that, now he was dedicated to J Rock at that time. Because I remember when J Rock first dropped and everything like that, he had the song with Lil Wayne at the time. Times is hard as he is. I'm saying that all my life and shit like that. And I like the little story that he goes about it about that. Like they really were trying to push J Rock a lot. Before Kendrick and shit like that. They really was trying to push that. And yeah, Schoolboy Q wasn't a rapper. He was just a hype man when he came in. So, what I'm saying? I don't think he really went in about I don't think Kendrick wanted to complain on this album. I think he just wanted to rap. And that's what he was doing. He was just rapping, man. He wasn't complaining about the culture, nothing like this. Like he would bring some shit up, but he just really wanted to rap. I think
Mm,
it's fine. I put this with my heart playlist with all my other hearts next to it and shit like that.
mm. Good to put
But
on,
same
like.
same type of strategy, like, heavy on the sample. You know what I'm saying? I heard it was they got some samples cleared for him very swiftly. You know what
um
I'm saying? So
Yeah, this one features vocals from the R&B trio SWV there, so it's got them in there. So that's very much if you know a lot of kind of especially R&B, black R&B, you know them, you know that kind of group
use
there.
your heart and not your mind. Yeah. Use your
Yeah.
heart and not your mind. And I think it was dope. And like I said, I think the hook was dope along with the story. It's like niggas really follow with their heart, really got to the point where they're at now. So
Yeah. And yeah, so he samples that in the song there, parts are Hard Part 6 there, which I thought was a good way there. Because we're coming closer to the end of the album. We got two songs there. GNX there, as you mentioned, you got Young Threat on there, you got Hit J3 is on there, and you got Faso is on there.
yeah,
Uh,
Peso. Hit a threat J3 and Peso I didn't know anything about or Young Threat. I heard Young Threat's name. That's the only person I ever heard Young Threat's name, and I think Young Threat do a dope little job, man. Like I said, niggas wasn't banging on there. It's a posse track, nice little posse track, and what I'm saying, it was doing its thing. You know what I'm saying, it was doing its thing. Shouts to them, man. I think that was a dope opportunity to have them on there and everything like that. And I think that's how Kendrick wanted to shape the album. Like I said, he didn't want to make it too complicated or shit like that, where he can't put these type of people on his album. So,
mm, yeah. Um, and I feel like with the Heart Part 6, I feel like that should have probably closed out the album, and then maybe
mhm.
like Gloria and then GNX probably should have swapped spots there instead, or maybe GNX should have been last there. Because I feel like the Hard Part 6 at 10 maybe you should have done more of it at last. But GNX is good though at the place it is at 11.
Yeah,
Um,
Gloria's cool too, man. One thing I say about Kendrick is that he does like to be like Pac, and I feel like in a way like Pac, he likes to cater to women, um, in his music, and he has no problem with saying that. So I thought Gloria was fine. Like I like Gloria. Gloria was the second track that I put in Serato. You know, I want to put in Serato. So yeah, I like Gloria. I like Gloria. Gloria's one of my favorite tracks.
yeah, Gloria is the one that closes out, and that's the one also with SZA on it. Again,
Mhm.
I think Gloria. Uh, I think I like Gloria more than I like Luther. I think.
Yeah, me too. Me
Um,
too. Most definitely.
I think I like that more. Just as far as more what it's doing there. And yeah, I think she fits more with that song there. Says it does. So yeah, that's all the 12 songs there. This is getting widespread critical acclaim. A lot of critics are kind of loving it. You think it's one of Kendrick's best? I don't know how you
No,
would rank.
no, no. It's definitely for me. I feel like it's behind a lot of his other work. It's hard to top Good Kid, Bad City. Hell, it's hard to top The Pimp a Butterfly. Hell, I like Mr. Morale a lot when it came out. So it's really hard to top those three right there. And people, and I know people love Damn, and it's hard to top Damn. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just hard to top a lot of those. I think he did. I think he wasn't trying to top them, to be honest with
Hmm. I think I mean, I'll probably do a stream where I'll really kind of rank all Kendrick's albums there, and kind of go over them. It's good. I mean, again, I think there's probably a bigger album coming later on. There, probably close to the Super Bowl or sometime next year after the Super Bowl. There, that's probably going to happen. This is kind of like I said, just more of a here you go type album there from Kendrick just to satisfy people until the Super Bowl comes, which people are kind of heavily anticipating. GNX says right here, GNX earned over 44.2 million first day streams on global Spotify chart, averaging over 3.6 million streams per song, despite being available only 7 hours prior. And also simultaneously occupied the number two spot on the U.S. Spotify charts, with Squabble being at number one with 3.272 million streams there. So you got that. And a lot of people, of course, race to this album there, given, what's been kind of going on with Kendrick, given all the kind of thing that's going on with him. So you got that kind of happening. What would be your rating for the album?
you. I would rate it like maybe like a 5.5.
Okay. Out of
Yeah,
out of
out of
10
10.
or out of
5.5 out of 10. Like I said, I think it's just one of those albums that I'm not gonna rush to, and I think it's one of those albums that I'm like, man, that was like super cold. It didn't really leave nothing on me besides it just being a L.A. Kendrick, not L.A. Kendrick, but besides just being another Kendrick album, to be honest with you. So if this was your rating system, uh, this would be like a low streaming,
Yeah,
maybe
it'd be like a low stream it.
low streaming. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you
definitely stream it. Don't miss out on it. But I think there's, I think there's other projects that are better than this. And I want to say for the TDE fans, we should all be happy that he woke up. He finally woke up. Uh, we all should be happy that we got a Kendrick, a Schoolboy Q, and an Soul album this year. So, and I don't think a
yeah, oh
lot
yeah,
of
Schoolboy Q just also dropped with Blue Lips, I think it was called Blue Lips.
yeah, yeah, Blue Notes,
Yeah,
or I
Blue
think it's
Note.
Blue Notes or something like that. Yeah, which I think his album was better than Kendrick.
Mm.
So,
Some people were
you know,
saying that. I've seen some people say that.
yeah, yeah, I think so. So it's like, but just all in all, those TDE fans be happy that because it's hard for us to get one TDE nigga to drop.
And then
He
some
got
I think
3.
SZA said on Kai Cenat's stream that she's gonna drop an album before this year is
She's
over.
lying. She wishes she could drop an album. I seen that shit. She wishes she could drop an album before the end of this year's out. This is not gonna drop an album within a month. She'll drop a single maybe. She's not finna drop no album.
Yeah.
No, they just dropped Absol's album. They just dropped Doechie's album. Like, let's look at the capacity of what's coming out of TDE. They just dropped Doechie's album. Doechie album is getting a lot of acclaim. They just dropped Schoolboy's album. They literally just dropped Absol album. I mean, if they want to do it like that, cool. But it's just like usually when TDE, if one of the albums that they drop gets steam, whereas it gets like a lot of recognition, now it's getting awards recognition,
Mm.
they usually kind of don't really focus on pushing another album too much. You know what I'm saying? After that, so that's how I see it. That's how I usually see it.
With your review, you kind of sound like Pitchfork. Pitchfork got in a little bit of trouble because they gave GNX a 6.6 out of 10 there. Kendrick's Glossy Hyper local six album arrives after a year of unimpeachable victories. The question is, how much do you enjoy watching him take a lap after another lap? Taking him, watching him take a lap after lap. You got there. So
So they're saying he's winning, and you just watching him keep winning.
I
What's
guess
wrong?
I guess maybe they're saying he's a sore winner. I guess a little bit there. Yeah,
No, because that beef happened because it happened. We can't base it off of that. Even though people are going to do that, we can't base it off of that. Base it off of just an album of his own. And fucking what's his name is not even on the album, so he's trying to let you know that the beef is what it is. Not like us. Not like us. Not even on the album. Not like us. He's dissing the fuck out of Drake, and he dissing the fuck out of Drake, and all the other shit. And Drake is dissing the fuck out of him. So people want to steer it to that and kind of compare it to the host of diss records that drop. It's not the same. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Not at all.
yeah. Um, so for me, I think it's a strong album.
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, it's up there with some of the best he's ever done. Like I said, I think it's still just a really good, solid project with a lot of good hits on here. As mentioned before, some of my favorite tracks. I mean, Whacked Out Yours is really great. Squabbled Up is really good. Gloria, um, Peekaboo, TV Off, I think are some of my favorites on the project. I would give it probably a strong tune in on our so if you had to do 1 out of 10, that'd be like a 7.5, out of 10 there if you did that. Yeah, 7.5. I'd give it that for, GNX. So, Chill gives it, a stream it, which would be like a 5.5 there.
Go stream it. Yeah.
Low stream it, and I would give it a strong tune in there. Yeah, which would be about like a 7, 7.5 for GNX Kendrick's album there.